Play, y'all. Okay, now I don't normally do this, and in my videos, I'm gonna do a little promotion um for my fake little place. It's Pizza Hut. Look at these, and I just ordered um the $10 dinner box. Now I know what you're thinking, guys. I know what you're thinking. You said you was gonna lose weight. You said you was gonna do this. Well, to be honest with you, I have been doing pretty well. I've lost 10 pounds this weight. But I also, like I said in my last video, I hope I didn't make y'all hungry. Like I said in my last video, I'm gonna do a report about what's been going on in the WWE. And I said about a year or so ago that I was going to do a video like that, but I never got around to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to address a certain problem I'm having with the WWE now, and what I've been noticing, especially about a certain storyline that's really pissed me off. That's what I'm going to focus this on. Now, what I'm getting is I'm going to get this go off of this based off of last night's show at Phoenix, Arizona, the 26th of August, 2013. Um, I got this report by David Stevens of WrestleView.com. And I'm looking at a certain storyline. What I'm noticing is that apparently um, the WWE is becoming extremely offensive, um, especially when it comes to this McMahon family versus Daniel Bryan type story. And of all people, the McMahon family is using the Shield, who's quote unquote supposed to be the hounds of justice. What's so justifiable about ganging up on one person who's just trying to make it in the company? That's not justice. That's just being a bully. And also, yeah, Daniel Bryan got the title stolen away from him by Triple H, who helped the number quote unquote Mr. Main in the Bank, Randy Orton, steal the title. Um, I believe it's SummerSlam. Yeah. Well, what I don't understand is why. Like, he's worked his ass off to get into that company, and when he finally wins the title, it's stolen from him by a former gay porn star. And yes, he did work in gay porn. And for those who don't believe me, it's all over the web. And trust me, Randy Orton, from what I've seen, especially from some sources I've heard, and I was shocked to see it and believe it, or um, he's a very good bottom. And in real life, from personal references, he's also a pervert. And he's a hard drunk. Um, and he doesn't really have much respect. But he loves his daughter. And he loved his wife. And to be honest with you, I think she had a great idea by leaving him. But that's just me. That's just me talking. I can't speak for all the wannabe baby mamas of Randy Orton. And yes, I said wannabe. As in, you can't keep your legs closed long enough to think with your brain and not your twat. Now, my thing about that is this whole situation is, although it's okay, it's just a storyline and it doesn't affect me personally. It's very offensive because number one, um, Daniel isn't the strongest, he isn't the tallest, he's not the most handsome, he's not all these kind of things, but he's an underdog, and that's what I like. I love underdog fighters. I love underdog champions when it comes to competitive sports, especially when it comes to in-ring fighting stuff. I love underdogs because they give you a sense of power, um, a sense of power about them. Although they're not the biggest guy out there or girl, that they could come back and do something. They could show you that they could hang in there with the big dogs and they could get the job done. And to be honest with you, from looking at some of his indie matches back in the day, he ain't nobody to trifle with and to begin with. I mean, the guy is pretty much a submission machine. He's amazing. And just because he has should I say, a mountain man beard now, that doesn't make him less of a great competitor. He's not most definitely not a B plus competitor. That was just out of pocket trips. I was out of pocket. I mean, to be honest with you, as of late, you've really been a C plus fighter, and every competition you got into as of late, you begin your ass handed to you. So to be honest with you, you're less of a competitor than Daniel Bryan is. I'm just being honest. I mean, you lost it after 2005. I'm just saying. And I don't mean to sound narcissistic, but I sure enough loved you with the long hair. It was so spike the air and flip the air and way and blah. Um, I like long hair in wrestling. I think it's funny. The hair's everywhere. Like, oh god, oh, that'd be killing me. I like that. It's funny. Mm. But anyway, back to the seriousness. All I have to say is that storyline is very, very important. And you know what I think will be an even better thing to add to that storyline is after this gets done, if Daniel Bryan decides to get fired, they decide to fire Daniel Bryan, kayfabe, of course, to have a People versus WWE storyline, like a friend of mine said last night. You know what I'm talking about, girl. How you doing? A People versus the WWE storyline, and it can be a major arc. But not just the people, but the workers that they undermined. All the workers that they don't use because they're not sexy enough, or they're not slutty enough, or their rib cage doesn't show well enough, or they're not big enough, or they're not popular enough, or they don't have as many hits on Twitter, and they're all kind of little shit. Try changing them. Half these men and women go through so many storylines that it puts them at odds with the people that they know in real life, and because of it, I'm not going to say it, but let's just say I'm not talking to someone. And I've had a lot of nights where I regretted a lot of stuff said, a lot of stuff that went on, and introducing people to certain people. And that's what's so fucked up about this company. You know what they need? Not another ECW takeover thing. That's just that'd be kind of tacky. But the people more so this time around. The people getting back. Because to be honest with you, I keep on saying this: without the workers and without the people, y'all wouldn't be shit. And that Be a Star program shit is bullshit. If you talk about Be a Star, why the fuck you got Ryback's ugly ass on TV bullying people and beating up people? It happens every day, not just with Ryback, but with everybody in the fucking company. And what the fuck was up with AJ last night waltzing out there? Saying all that bullshit, talk about she gained so much in 1 year than you have done in your entire careers, and you're nothing, and that's reality. I looked at her and I said, okay, as much as I don't like the Bella Twins, I have to side with them and the rest of those girls. That was just so out of line. I don't care if you're the Divas champion or whatever, because from what I remember a couple of months ago, when you was about to quote unquote, when you was in danger of losing your job, you was talking about all the shit you came from, you was being so fucking humble, you was in that same position. Scrutiny. And to be honest with you, Vicky Guerrero was exactly right about everything she said about her. Back then, I know a lot of us didn't like Vicky Guerrero, but now I do. She was upfront, she was honest, and she knew what was going to happen. Mm-hmm. That's why I wasn't mad. Some told me not to get mad at Vicky because I already knew she was telling the truth. I already knew something was going down. And to be honest with you, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. On screen, I knew she fucked John Cena. I mean, if you guys are too stupid to realize John Cena is not necessarily a good face for the company. I mean, in real life, he's a complete fucking pervert. Um, a whole bunch of stuff I've heard and I've seen. A friend of mine, I don't want to bring this up because it's heartbreaking, but he was going through a problem with his father. He got mad and he was at an autograph signing with John Cena there. John Cena takes him off to the side, consoles him, and then takes the opportunity to put his hands on the boy's butt and squeeze extremely hard. Not to mention that this friend of mine has a person who is has a relative who is involved in a certain industry, and I'm not going to say anything, but this person knows him personally, and this person has dealt with him on several occasions, and he is a complete pig. So that storyline with him and AJ, I already knew what happened. You can skip around it all you want to. You can call me this or whatever. You can get on here and flame this video all the fuck you want to. I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna say what I have to say. I mean, as far as on-screen competitor, yeah, he's a great guy, but he's not necessarily a good face. Because in private, yes, don't mix private with the business. But I'm disgusted half the time, especially after I found out all that stuff about him and AJ. In real life, AJ is a great girl. She's really nice. She's really sweet. She's really funny. She's really nerdy, which is okay. Um, and she's outgoing. She's a sweet girl. And then I've heard so much good about her, more than so the bad. And if the good outweighs the bad, I can overlook the bad, but I'm not going to forget the bad. You know what I'm saying? Um, there's a lot going on with the show, all these shows, and although it would be an interesting idea if TNA came over and took over WWE, took it by storm, it would also mean that WWE has gotten syndication or rights to that show, and they're merging together to form what I'd like to call another ECW takeover slash crash. And that ain't good. Although it would be kind of interesting to see whoever is the TNA champion against the current one. That'd be really funny. And also because CM Punk was a part of TNA a couple of years ago before we really knew much about him, or should I say, gave a shit about him. Um, yeah, he might side with them too. And as far as Rob Van Dam, I'm not so sure. I mean, they treated him like shit. So, yeah, and seeing Mickey James come back, that'd be funny. Uh, all these people that they used to have and let go coming back and talk about it's about time we put knock some sense into you. That'd be a good storyline, but if, like I said before a couple of minutes ago, that would be tacky because it's been repeated. It'll be a repeat. And also, I don't want to see TNA go out of business. Although their promotions are rather boring and repetitive and kind of awkward. The same thing with WWE. To be honest with you, wrestling has gone down since the time we were children to the time it is now. And to be honest with you, I think that everything that's happening right now in the WWE is really. I'm gonna just be honest. They need people like me on the board on the creative writing team. Because to be honest with you, the way creative writing is going now these days, it's horrible, it's repetitive, it's stupid, it's offensive, it's two-faced, it's lying, it's deceptive, it's all this kind of stuff. Don't say preach be a star and don't be a bully. You got people on the screen bullying folks, violently, might I add. And don't say don't terrorize people when you got the shield walking around hurting people and acting a goddamn fool. Although I do have to admit I've heard some really, really nice things about them in person and that they're really cool guys. And that's just a job. Especially a certain someone who acts just like the Joker, who has a bad habit of getting on webcam and chewing and eating food and then blowing greasy kisses at you. I Dean Ambrose, you a mess. I have not seen him do it, but I've seen webcam sessions. or heard of them. And the person I know knows him personally, thanks to his a person in his family that works in a certain industry. The reason why I'm being so go around the issues because I'm trying to be confidential with the people that I'm speaking about. Now, yeah, there's a lot of people in that industry that have great personalities on screen. Then again, there are people who are in the industry who act just like they do on screen, only probably a lot worse. Um, I mean, if you've been watching Totally Divas, you can see that a lot of their personalities are just the same. They're just acting being themselves, and sometimes it's just an act. Um, and this Sunday, I was pretty moved. I can relate to the Bellas, um, and the whole father issue. Um, I'm going through that, and I feel for them, but at the same time, it doesn't give them the right to treat other people like shit. Um, Natty or Natalie and her relationship with her then fiance and the friend coming out and confessing that he had a crush on her and trying to put her at odds with him. All that shit going on. The JoJo and even Marie, nice addition. They're very nice girls. The Funkadactyls and that hood fight. What you pushing up and what you pushing up I'm like, and then at the end they crying like, I love you, girl. Oh yeah, oh Trinity. Oh, talk about Theater 101. Child, please. That's too much. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. You can leave comments if you want to. Like I said, you flame this video, I'm gonna flame you. Because when it's straight up truth. I'm not skipping around no topics. I'm not doing it. I may do it sometimes, but to be honest with you, what I'm telling you is the truth. Now, it's going to be my last video for like about a couple of days, but I will be back. Stop button. And this was actually a request video. So, yeah. Anyway, love you all. Take care. Stop button. And bye-bye. I'm going to eat some of this $10 dinner box. Bye-bye.